everyone, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of Wolfkeen Talks. Now today on Wolfkeen Talks, this is going to be a bit of an interesting topic, and one that I've wanted to talk about for a while, but got busy and didn't really have time to do it, so finally I got the time. So, here's something I want to ask you people. Have you ever played a game that you may have played on, say, like a later generation console, but then you played it on an earlier gen console, and somehow, someway, that game, barring graphics and otherwise, even though it's supposed to be the same game, it feels and looks like a totally different game. Now, before people go for the obvious, oh, handhelds compared to consoles, that's a very easy argument to make because handhelds have limitations compared to the consoles, so that's not really a fair assessment. I'm more talking about games that were released almost within the same time span of each other, and basically were released on different consoles of different generations, but honestly felt like they were a different game altogether, in both story, mechanics, graphics I'm barring because, let's face it, console limitations between generations, and various other things of that nature. Like, have you ever seen games like that before? To be honest, I've seen a few, and a lot of them actually come from Ubisoft, but there are a couple of others that come from other games as well. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about games that were, similar, like same games, but are different on different consoles. I gotta come up with a different title, leave me alone. The first game I want to bring up, and this was actually one I thought about doing a video series of, or at least doing a video recording of, and still might, Splinter Cell Double Agent. As many of you know, Splinter Cell Double Agent was released on not only the next-gen consoles, Xbox 360 and PS3, but it was also released on the previous-gen consoles, PS2 and Xbox. Now the thing is, people would think that the Xbox and PS2 versions would just be less superior versions compared to the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, less in graphics, gameplay, and otherwise because of the hardware limitations. However, what people fail to realize is that the PS2 and the PS2 and Xbox have a hard time actually keeping up with the later consoles, so how would you make the game the same without having to sacrifice so much? The short answer, you don't. The long answer, you make an entirely different game that's still the same as the original game. Like, I'm not even kidding. Look at this gameplay comparison. Look at the difference between Splinter Cell on the next-gen consoles and Splinter Cell on the old-gen consoles. Hell, you can even tell the difference between levels, not only in graphics, but also level design, gameplay style, and otherwise. To the point that Splinter Cell Double Agent was seen as many people's, most hated Splinter Cell game, but a lot of people actually felt the Xbox version was the better version. The previous gen version was actually better than the next gen version, which is kind of crazy, but it kind of makes sense. Double Agent on 360 and Xbox were honestly different games in nearly every right, but was still the same game. The problem was that the Xbox version held true to what Splinter Cell was all about, while the 360 version did not. This is what I'm trying to talk about. This is what I mean when it comes to a game that, same game, but somehow massively different from each other depending on the console or otherwise. And I do have a couple of other examples to go along with it. Another one, and this is a more obscure choice, Rainbow Six Lockdown. There are so many different versions of Rainbow Six Lockdown, and the weird thing is, they're all the same game, but they have stark differences between each other in story, level design, and otherwise once again. Rainbow Six Lockdown on the PS2, Rainbow Six Lockdown on the Xbox. Look at those two games side by side, and you'll honestly say, okay, this is weird. Why do they both look so different when they're from the same console? That's the question. If I had to guess, hardware limitations. The thing is that a lot of people need to know is that with games like this, hardware limitation plays a very big role into why these games have to be modified in such a way. But it's still very impressive that we get such a different game for a different console, to the point that some versions are actually better than the others, which is kind of weird in many situations. Like I said, with Double Agent, the Xbox version was better than the Xbox 360 version. It was considered the best by all critics, which is crazy. With Rainbow Six Lockdown, not only was the graphics weirdly designed, but the gameplay was changed up as well. Not only in the amount of, I believe in the PS2, which I think is also the PC version, you can actually swap around weapons, change around your crew members, and otherwise. While in the Xbox version, you can't do that. But honestly, Rainbow Six Lockdown on the Xbox was honestly a better one to go with because it felt more like Rainbow Six 3 rather than, you know, like what it was on the other consoles, which is weird. This is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I know that sometimes with different consoles and otherwise you'll have, you know, like differences or otherwise, but we're in a day and age where games are pretty close to each other with only very minute changes or exclusives between consoles, like costumes, weapons, or otherwise. Back then, we had games that were literally released on different consoles and would honestly be so different from each other that it honestly would make you be like, what in the world? I'm going to leave this off with a question for my viewers. So, I really wish I could extend this to books or movies too, but I don't know if there are any examples of that. If you know any examples, go for it, but here's the main question I want to ask you. Are there any games that you played at one point in your life that were released on multiple consoles but had stark differences between the two? And I don't mean in terms of graphics or gameplay in certain aspects. I'm talking about that it felt like a whole different game in many aspects. Go ahead and leave your comments down below and we'll discuss it down in the comments. Now with that said, time for me to do a bit of updates for the channel. I know it's been a while since my last Let's Play video, and I'm very sorry for that, but I am working on some new content in the near future. I'm just trying to get myself motivated again to do more content, and I'm not trying to force myself back into the swing of things, because if I do, I know I'm just going to burn myself out again. So I'm going to be staying on my I'll upload when I can kind of schedule for now, but I will be trying to record some more gameplay in the future, which I really need to finish Dark Souls 2, I really need to finish New Vegas, and I need to get going with Zombie U, because I already have a couple of other games I want to Let's Play before I move on to get into other games I want to Let's Play. So, as far as gameplay goes, I'm working hard as I'm going to try to do my best to get gameplay going once I feel more motivated. So, I'll definitely alert people on my Tumblr, Twitter, and otherwise when I actually start doing this, but definitely expect some new gameplay in the near future. I can't say I promise at the moment because I've broken my promise multiple times, and I'm very, very, very sorry for that. But I will definitely say right now, I'm going to get to work on it. So, take that for, you know, whatever it's worth. Second thing is the My Little Pony content. As of right now, I am going to be working on the Lightning Round Speed Impressions Round 2 for Season 4. And I'm still currently working on Speed Impressions for Season 6. As of right now, I have no collab projects. I have no collab projects whatsoever, so I can now focus on my own content rather than having to worry about editing for others. A couple of people have asked me to do like minor editing stuff, but it's stuff that I can get done relatively quick and it's not too painful. So My Little Pony content will continue to be released as much as I can, and I will be trying to release gameplay as much as I can in the near future. So just to summarize it all, I'm going to be trying my best to work on this new content in the near future, and hopefully, to all my new subscribers and my old subscribers, since I have reached 1K, that will be something I'll be working on in the near future. Also, I just want to end it off with one more thing, the 1K subscribers video. As of right now, there's still a couple of days left before I close the questions and otherwise. So if you want to ask me a question or otherwise, do it now. Leave a question down in my Q&A video, which I'll probably put the link down in the description, maybe put a video link somewhere up there. You know what I mean. Go leave your questions right now to the Q&A because I will be closing it in the next couple of days. And with that said, thanks again for watching this edition of Wolfkeen Talks. Go ahead and leave your comments down below for the subject that I talked about. And if you have other subjects you want me to talk about for Wolfkeen Talks, leave that down below in the comment section. So until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys, take care.